Hi, I'm here with Wendy again, and we're talking business. We're talking business. This is a successful business owner. It has an amazing company, and we're not going to go into detail about what that is, but I would tell you I learn a lot about business with you, and it inspires me.
Thank you.
And I know that there's a lot going on in the social media space and all the different platforms right now. A lot of people are trying to monetize. A lot of people are trying to figure out what to do with their small businesses or build small businesses. So we're actually talking about something very operational and very important about documenting your business, as well as creating standard operating procedures and also building a legacy. And so I just wanted to pick your brain today.
Sure.
And talk about it. So I have a few more questions for you. So how does documenting your systems today help protect the values, the standards, and the culture you want for your future teams or successors to uphold? So again, your values as a company, your standards, and the culture of your business. And how can documenting your systems today help with that?
Well, I was thinking a little bit recently about selling the business, but then I'm like, even if I wanted to give this business to a family member or they inherit it, really, how do you make them successful? The only way you do is to document what you do.
Right.
Because it doesn't matter how close of a relative is it. It doesn't matter if they've visited your business, talked about it, loved it through the years. They don't know the day-to-day operations of how you get from concept to delivery.
And because as I watch you, a lot of, just as we're working in your SOPs, there's a lot in your brain. Like, I'll ask you a prompt question, or we'll pull up something on Copilot, but a lot of it is in your mind. Because
absolutely.
To you, it's like an automatic process. I watch you on your computer, when I hang out with you, when we do girl time, oftentimes you're working.
Yes.
And you're like, oh, I gotta call this person. Oh, I gotta make it. I gotta pull up this. I gotta talk to my husband. I gotta pull up this order. I gotta call this customer back.
Yeah.
And how do you really document that so that someone else could do that type of work? And it's so vital.
Right.
Because if the sustainability of your business is important until you sell your business and or a family member takes it over.
Yes.
So now your brain's going, how would I describe this as, I think you said, to a 10th grader?
Well, there's an average reading level out there. And so, like when you get into documentation, you don't want to like have these super elaborate words. You want to speak 8th to 10th grade reading level.
Right.
So that it's easy to understand and easy to follow the steps of the task that you've outlined.
Don't you think that enhances your capabilities in your business, your competency level, when you realize you really start to document it, all the roles different involved, because you have a vendor focused type of business?
I have what's called a fabless business, and
fabulous business.
Yeah,
fabulous.
That means that it's fabulous and fabless, which means that I outsource all the fabrication of my product. Our strength has always been art and design, and then we have core competencies
and
of
strengths.
Each part of the process. So we involve outsourced vendors, and that's where you get this. I have a fabless business model.
So the company that purchases your business, ultimately you can come up with all the standard operating procedures to actually build into a whole training and development program.
Absolutely.
For all those different roles.
Absolutely.
And perhaps your new owner is going to be doing a lot of this on their own.
Yeah.
And they're going to be utilizing AI. Which is, as you know, I keep talking about AI. You can enhance all of these types of steps with the use of AI, right?
Absolutely.
And so just trying to take that intellectual property, it is a very artistic company, but also there's going to be some operational aspects of the new company. If they're going to be, because, okay, I'm going to back up now. So your business is highly successful, but there is so much potential of global growth.
Huge.
In this business, right? Because you've been super solid, and we're not going to get into specifics, but in supermarkets and super regions. But this will go globally, right?
Absolutely.
And
like we're already
a
global company, but I don't have like consistent business, let's say, out of Europe yet. But it's really easy to do that with this model. So it doesn't matter when we moved the company 13 years ago from Colorado to Florida. We just took the same process we did in Colorado and we moved it to Florida. So literally I could sell my business anywhere around the United States. Let's just use that as an example. Or in a foreign country, and they could expand because they would get their own vendors and suppliers to do the outsourced fabrication, again, of the product.
And also, I noticed that you can do a lot of your work remotely.
Yes, I love
Because you
it.
do. I'm not going to say where we live. We both live out of the country, right?
Yeah.
We're both Americans. We live out of the country, but you work remotely a lot.
It was my dream for 35 years to come up. I was a techie out of Silicon Valley for a few years in the early 90s. Hate to date myself, but that was my goal for many, many years, that I was going to be able to work my job from a laptop on the beach. Now, one thing I did forget is that you need an umbrella so that you can see your laptop screen. But other than that, that's been the only challenge, that and consistent Wi-Fi. And really these days we don't have much of a problem with getting good Wi-Fi just about any country around the globe now.
Yeah.
So when I go on vacation, yeah, it seems like I vacation a lot. I'm always working.
Yeah.
I'm always checking in. Yes, you might not do an 8-hour day like you would at home, and you might not pursue other things. You would just maintain your client base, but it's been glorious.
And you know, it's been fun. I've been learning a lot too, because I have my mindset about various AI softwares and various tools that we should be utilizing as to support her in a business consulting standpoint. And then you did your own research and found AI tools that you were more comfortable with. And so the two of us have been collaborating like, oh my God, I didn't know it had this capability. I didn't know AI was built into this. I didn't realize that we can do videos. What do you call it? Basically, you can go show how you use in QuickBooks, or show, you know, your training processes.
The video actually records your movements online and then takes that data and creates a document that you can give to somebody you're hiring. It's great for, hey, do an invoice, and here's the exact clicks in QuickBooks, because I just go through it and it's recording all my movements. So
right.
Excellent training tools. You can't go wrong if you're doing it and clicking. So people will understand what you're clicking, and it records all that. It makes it so incredibly easy.
So when you, a couple of years ago, were thinking about creating this SOP, and you were thinking about creating this book and selling your company, were you aware a year ago that the technology would change today to make this such a great resource for a company buyer?
When I started this, 4 or 5 years ago, there was no tools, right? So everything's come out in the last year, and then it was like, I heard about it, I started dabbling with it a little bit, but until we had long discussions in March and had our quarterly meeting, I didn't realize the potential of what I could do. And Char encouraged me, just, start trying them. You can go online, you can say, what are all the free AI tools that I can use, and AI will give you a list of tools that might be good for your business, because you can caveat your searches with a good prompt, and you got to learn prompts, and you have to have good English for that. So the more specific you can be in your language, the better AI is going to generate that data for you.
Yeah, and that's been my learning, I think, and I've talked about in prior videos. It is in my career compass, as I call it, is, we might be intimidated or worried about AI. However, it is important to jump in and start learning it. And there's so many apps out there, free apps, where you can learn all the different AI technologies. Start talking to your business partners, having these conversations. How are we utilizing these tools? And then just jump in and do it. Because what was kind of holding you back from just jumping in and getting this started? I think you've been talking about this for a little while.
I really didn't know what an SOP would include. That was one thing. And then, once I got a little information and I asked AI and I told it a lot about my business, not a lot, but enough to say, we're in this category, this is what we do, what are the standard SOPs that I would need, and it spits out a list of like 9 of them maybe, and then it wasn't so intimidating.
Yeah, because then it was chunked up, and all of a sudden you go, oh, okay, that's good.
It wasn't as big of a project as I actually thought, and now that I've really dove into it, I bet it'll be less than a day's work if I put all the hours together.
Yeah, because at least my involvement with you has only been a couple of days.
Well, Char helped me identify, some platforms that I could try, and I just started fooling around with them. And then, you know, your coaching has been so helpful, and your Career Compass product is awesome. And it's these kind of tools that just really get you in the right direction. And it's just not an extraordinary amount of money. And I'm a small business. You cannot spend thousands and thousands of dollars. I don't know what somebody would charge
Some of these
in the old
consultants
days.
will up to $100,000 for that kind of thing.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Ouch.
And
So-
some of them are ripoffs.
No.
A lot of these programs it's like a program, like
No
thousands
wonder I
of
haven't
dollars.
done it.
Yeah, I can tell you there's a
Right.
lot of scamming going on with
Yeah.
people selling their programs that teach you things.
Yeah,
But you really,
you
what
don't
you
need
needed
that.
was not, you needed more of a thought partner, not necessarily
just some
to
guidance.
Just someone to talk through it and say, okay, let's
Yeah.
add this, let's enhance that. So that's awesome.
Well, your suggestions have been invaluable.
Well, I'm learning a lot too. It's been a great process. Okay, we're going to wrap up here with one more question. So, when you imagine your long-term legacy as a business owner, what role does process documentation play in preserving your impact, client experience, and revenue continuity?
Well, again, it's just having a consistent process that you can pass along, and to document like the passwords so that those people can do it. Because again, if you're not documented, if your business can't run without you, the main character in your business, it's not going to go on.
Right.
There's going to be breakdowns in process and control and quality, and that can lead to the demise of a wonderful business. And I just wanted to leave the audience with this parting thought. If you want your child or whomever to take over the business when you pass, how long are you going to wait to document that?
Correct.
Maybe you should document that while you're healthy and stick it in the safe. I mean,
Yeah.
or, you know, just file it away. But you've got to start of what you do, because when you're in a crisis mode, trust me, it's not the good time to start. And
Yeah.
So I started this out of a crisis, a health crisis.
Correct, and the continuity, and it's like a insurance to assure that your business can sustain in times of hardships, in times
Yeah.
of economic changes, in times
Yes.
of rapid inflection going on in our world.
You don't want to
And-
spend decades on your business only to have the person who inherits or buys it fails.
Right.
You want them to succeed too. This
yes.
is how they can succeed.
Well, when
by
you-
having clear
yeah.
instructions.
And that's why I'm excited. We're not getting into what the business is, but it is super wonderful business, and I'm so excited for your buyer someday,
Well,
because you are leaving a
thank
great
you.
legacy with wonderful values, with wonderful information, and you're using AI to help them be successful, to grow and expand.
Yeah.
And that is your legacy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's
Thanks,
super
Char.
exciting. Well, I love this girl. She's been awesome. We're a great power partner. And so anyway, so thanks for your time today. I'm
Absolutely.
going to share all these little different videos, and we're going to continue talking business, right?
Thanks for
So
having
this
me.
is called Mountain and Sea Strategy, and what we're talking is about living by the mountains, the highest foundation, and the security, and the sea, which is all about creativity and flow. Her business is all about that. So
And
thanks for
her
listening.
business is all about Career Compass.
Career
and driving
Compass,
your
Digital
career.
Compass, and
you-
Casa Compass.
You've been a wonderful business partner,
Oh, well, thanks. Well,
driving us in the right direction. So
we don't
thank you.
just sit around and talk about old men.
Sure we do.
And and does scroll on her phone laughing at funny memes, because we do that too. But we also talk business. So I'm glad we were able to capture this today, and I love you, girl. So
Thanks, Char.
we'll see y'all later. Until
Bye.
next time.